everybody. Suzanne Lyons here, and thank you so much for joining me. This is the first tip in this new series. For those of you who are new to the series, let me just explain how it goes. This is the 10-tip series, which follows my newsletter, and I've been doing for the past, almost 2.5 years, a monthly newsletter. This year it's going to be bi-monthly, where I do 10 tips on something, whether it's 10 tips to pitching, 10 tips to getting investors, 10 tips to 10 tips to success in Hollywood, whatever. Then what I started to do back in March last year is I started to take those and create a YouTube series out of it, which is what you're seeing today. So this particular one, which I absolutely love, is on the 10 tips, which I'm going to turn actually into exercises for you to make it a little bit more fun and a little bit easier, I think. 10 tips to creating and designing the best year ever, 2012. I also have these little booklets that I do on it as well, and also a Facebook page, where I discuss, some of the things that we're working on with the newsletter, with YouTube, with the booklets, all of these different 10 tips. It all has to do with that. So all little fun things to take on, fun exercises to take on from the entertainment industry. But once again, like I've mentioned before, if you've seen this before, is you can map this onto any industry. In fact, you can map it onto your personal life. It truly doesn't matter. Even though I say the entertainment industry, it really is up to you however you want to work this, however you want to map it on to your life, to whatever industry you're in. I think it all fits no matter what. Here's the thing. How it works is I do over 5 weeks on a Tuesday and a Thursday, over the 5-week period, 10 tips. Then in week 6, on that first Tuesday of week 6, I kind of do a brief review, just so you can kind of see the whole thing all put together. The other fun treat that I provide is I've got guest speakers coming in. For those of you who've watched the last number of tips that I've done over all these months, I have some wonderful guests from the industry come in and join me. And if you've seen the one that I did during November to December, it was fantastic with some incredible people, and I've got some great people coming in this time as well, so do stay tuned. Anyways, let's get right to it. Tip number 1 on creating your best year ever, designing 2012. Truly, I'm not kidding about this, to have it be the best year ever. Number 1 is what I call the Lifetime Achievement Award. Sounds crazy, I know. All right, so much of what I'm doing sounds crazy, but I promise it works. I've worked with, nearly 20,000 people in the industry over the years. I've taught classes. I had a company with Heidi Wall for many years called Flash Forward Institute. I even led a few of those classes in the fall, and I think we have another one coming up in the spring under flashforwardhollywood.com. Myself personally, I have a company called Snowfall Films. I'm a film producer. I've produced 9 films over a 9-year period. I had a wonderful partner for many years, and she's now, doing her writing, gone back to doing her writing, Kate Robbins, and I now have some wonderful partners that I've shared, I'm sharing some wonderful projects with. So I'm looking forward to a very, very, very fun 2012 for me, which is why I like doing these tips, because I take them on with you, by the way. I do the homework, I do the exercises too, because I really find that it helps me move forward in every way, shape, and form in all the goals and dreams and visions that I have in my career. So the first one, creating the Lifetime Achievement Award, what I think that makes fun is it's kind of like looking at the big picture. When my husband and I take on doing this exercise, we look 25 years out, 35 years out. I know in Japan they say that, Japanese company looks 400 years into the future. It's very, very amazing to kind of create what you're doing now, to look at what your goals are going to be now in the present, but to not kind of look at what you did last month, last week, last year, but to look at where are you way out there. Because way out there, you can have anything. There's no failure out there. There's just a fun place to be out there, a fun place to create. You can have it be any way you want. Design anything you want. So when you're designing and creating out there, that gives you a whole freedom to then create your goals from here, which we'll start to look at over the next 5 weeks. But for now, let's just look at what would that be? 25 years from now, 35 years from now, if you're getting up on a stage and accepting that Lifetime Achievement Award, and it could be for your personal life, it could be for whatever your career is, doesn't matter, what would that speech be? Let's say it's not you, because it's going to be too hard, I think, for you to write it, because sometimes we kind of hold back a little bit too much for ourselves. Let's say somebody is standing up on your behalf, all right? And they're going to be giving this amazing speech, which is for your acceptance for the Lifetime Achievement Award, what would they be saying? What would you want them to say? Okay? It's a Lifetime Achievement Award. It's way in the future. So if someone were standing up to give an account of your career or your personal life, what would you want them to say? What was your contribution? What would you be most proud of? Where have you made your mark? What have you created? How is the entertainment industry, or whatever your industry, or whatever aspect of your personal life, better now than it was before because of you? So look at some of those questions, or other questions. Those are just some of the ones that I had made up for the booklet. What is it for you? If you had somebody standing up to share with the audience before you get up to give your speech, and they're sharing about who you are and what your contribution has been to the industry, to your industry, in your personal life, what would that be? All right, that's pretty cool, isn't it? So, and then we'll start to work back from there and then create a magnificent 2012 over the next 5 weeks. But let's start from there. Let's start kind of what I call the big picture. If any of you have seen me on mastertalentteachers.com in my goal setting tapes, or you can certainly go and see those on mastertalentteachers.com, I do make a big fuss about that, creating that big picture for yourself. It's such a fun place to play and a fun place to create, your vision and your goals from. So let's start with that. All right. So I will see you on Thursday. That's the exercise 1. I know it's usually I say tip. In this case, we're actually doing an exercise each time. So that's your exercise from now till Thursday. Is kind of look to see creating that speech and what that would be. All right. Where have you made your mark? What are you most proud of? What has been your contribution? That's it. All right, guys. Thanks once again for joining me. And I will see you on Thursday. Suzanne Lyons here, signing off.